We've been waiting all year long for the Tour Championship here at East Lake. 29 players playing for a big purse and a weird fantasy game this week. We'll talk about that on Gaming Golf Podcast starting now. Hey everybody, welcome to Gaming Golf. It is the FedEx Cup Championship at East Lake. 29 golfers, should be 30, but Will Z is already withdrawn due to 2 herniated discs in his back. He was going to be right up at the top too, and he missed the BMW, misses this. You know, when you're missing out on this possible big day, it's a legit injury and not I'm going to live injury. This is a real injury for him.
Yeah, he's leaving some money on the table, right, by not playing. But I guess last place will still take $500,000. But yeah, it's too bad. Big fantasy implications in our golf league that we play, our season-long league. Probably a lot of season-long golf leagues as well. So yeah, it's too bad that he couldn't play this last event. And too bad he's missing the President's Cup, which is that event is taking its share of hits.
Yeah, it is. It is. So how long is he going to be out? I missed that part that he's missing the President's
Cup. Yeah, I didn't say how long, but it just said he's withdrawing from this week and also taking himself right out of the President's Cup as well.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad.
President's Cup's only like 3 weeks away, right? Like middle of September? Yeah.
That's like so poorly timed. I mean, that and the tennis US Open, like men's final, like are the worst 2-time big events that you can have. Because it's always like you going up against the NFL, and the U.S. Open's always week 1 of the NFL. It's like, come on, people are going to be so excited for football. I mean, it's unfortunate there. So we do have 29 other golfers left in a weird format. Let's jump right into it. We do this where Scotty Scheffler is going to start off at 10 under. He's going to have the lead. Patrick Cantlay is at 8. Xander's at 6. Burns is at 5 under. Rory, Cam Smith, Tony Finau, Sungjae Im, and Sepp Straka. The Austrian Rory McIlroy maybe now is at 4 under. Can't call him the Austrian Matt Kuchar anymore. He's too good for that. 3 under, John Rahm, Justin Thomas, Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick, Scott Stallings. 2 under, Victor Hovland, Joaquin Niemann, Hideki, Jordan Spieth, and Max Homa. 1 under, Cory Connors, Colin Morikawa, Billy Horschel, Brian Harmon, and Tom Hoagie. Even par, Sahith Theegala made it all the way to East Lake. Good on you for
with a 40-foot putt on 17 on Sunday too.
I know, that's awesome. Adam Scott really rallied in the playoffs. He made it. KH Lee, Aaron Wise, and JT Poston. It's a pretty significant head start for Scheffler. Maybe not to win the tournament. Certainly finishing top 5 is going to be hard for him not to do. Guys, with this unique format, how are you handling building your lineups?
I'm trying to understand why the pricing goes all the way down to 5,000. Are you not getting points for birdies? And
no, you do. You do. Essentially, it's just because they're starting 10 strokes back. So the finishing position, which is like Scheffler and those guys go so high up, and in order to fit anybody, they have to have guys that go so low too. Because usually there's nobody over, like 12,000. You got 3 guys over 12,000 to go. It just separates everybody so you can play some of those top guys. I mean, you're not only starting 10. The problem with the format is you're not only starting 10 strokes back at Scheffler. Like conceivably in a week, someone could catch the Scheffler at over 4 rounds, but you're 8 strokes behind Cantlay and 6 behind Schauffele and 4 behind Roy. It's almost impossible to catch up everybody. But I think the key is you want a couple guys that you think can win it. Obviously Scheffler's insanely high priced, and then the rest of the time, excuse me, you want guys that are making birdies because the finishing is 30 points for first, second for 20 for second, but then it really compacts after that. So you need guys that can score points during the week. So after the top couple spots, I'm just looking for guys who are going to play well actually during the tournament.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement in this event. Like it's very easy to look at this leaderboard and say, "Oh man, the 10-shot lead for Scheffler on half the field." It just like this shuffles up quickly. East Lake is like it's a par 70, but it's gettable. Usually, if you just look at the raw score, like 10, 12, 14 under wins this event. So that's enough shots where guys who if you're even par like an Adam Scott or Thigala, you're probably not going to win this week. But it's very common for guys in that like 20 to 30 range to at least move to the top 10.
Right.
And find those guys, and usually, there's usually like 5 or 6 of those guys. So finding those guys, I think, gives you a chance. It's like Scott said, figure out who you think is going to win, get the winner right, and then back them up with those movers. And that's how you're going to win this week.
They've done it. They've done the format 3 years. Only one of the years, the guy who started with the lead, finished the most DraftKings points. That was last year with Cantlay. He had the most points. He had 4 more than Rahm. In 2020, DJ started with the lead and won, but Xander actually had more DK points than him because he just moved up. He started at -3 and finished second. And then 2019, JT started with the lead. I finished 3rd in the tournament, but he only had the 6th most DraftKings points because he actually fell back 2 spots. So 3 years, it's only been once where the guy in the lead, even with his finishing points, finished with the most points.
Interesting. Let's jump right into the field here. I think we can pretty much go one by one, but we can do all 29 golfers. We usually do, but we'll break it in tiers. We'll go the 5 digits, and first thing you'll notice is the prices are way out of whack compared to, you mentioned that Hoagie down at 5,000. Well, that's because Scheffler's at 13.6 at the lead. Cantlay's at 13,000. Xander's at 12.3. Rahm's at 10.9. Rory's at 10.8. Cam Smith's at 10.4. You got to start with one of the big money guys, I think, in a tournament like this, right, Scott?
So I'm going. I've played with some lineups. I'm either going Rory and kind of a more balanced build with a bunch of guys in the middle, and then I got another one with either go with Rory and Xander and or Cantlay, one of the two. So I'm going at least one guy over 10, and most of the time I'm going over with 2 guys over 10. But I'm playing Rory heavily this week. He's down to 10.8, 3,000 less than Scheffler. A lot less than Cantlay and Schauffele, and he's playing great. I mean, he hit the ball great last week. He just putted terribly. Lost 4.5 strokes on the green, gained 5.5 off the tee, 10.6 tee to green. He's -4. I think he has a legit chance to make a run at this thing. If he can just putt average or even putt well, he's one of those guys that is so electric. He could catch that up before the weekend starts. So, last 10 events, he had the 1 missed cut at St. Jude, 9 top 20s, 7 top 10s. I think at 10.8, he's going to be the cornerstone of my lineups. I'm going to be pairing him with some guys, the 9s and 8 on one build, and then with Xander or Cantlay another build.
And the great thing, too, is, he was a guy that was the it guy. He was the highest priced player at St. Jude, missed the cut, and that's going to turn some people away from him. So you might get him lesser rostered. Although in a small field tournament like this, I think I care less about roster percentage.
Yeah, no one's going to be low rostered. It's just a matter of, hitting the right guys, I think.
Jeff, how about you? How are you going to attack this?
I like the Rory pick a lot. Xander's made some noise at this event too. He won at East Lake in 2017. So I think he's tempting at that price, but yeah, Rory was my favorite build off this tier. I think it's hard to be, Scotty Scheffler for all the success he's had. It's hard to start at the top and look at your name at the top of the board, before you even tee off. I think that's a strange spot. Cantlay is tempting, as with the past success. He's already, playing with house money. He's already won this thing before. He's certainly coming in feeling good, but those are such huge numbers that if you want to save a little money, I kind of like building off of Xander or Rory this week. But I don't know if you're going to ask me who's like the most likely to win, like right now. I think it's probably Cantlay would be my pick. Like just sportsbook, who am I going to go? Its odds are probably like 3-1 or something like that.
The experience factor, last year doing it, and
But as you build these lineups, like Scott said, you want momentum, you want movement. I think Rory is also my favorite off this tier for DFS.
I'm going to go Rahm, guys. I'm going Rahm at 10.9, 65, 67 over the weekend. I like how he kind of rounded into form, had one bad round, and that got him, out of contention for winning, but really rallied strong over the weekend. I like seeing that, and maybe a little less concentration on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's only -3, so that's maybe that will get people off him a little bit, but I was Rahm or Rory to build as the cornerstone. I picked Rory just on recent play, and he got 1 stroke on him. But it's interesting that Cantlay was the leader, the guy that was started at -10 last year and won. Nobody had him in any of the big GPP wins, too, just the way people built it. He actually wasn't on winning teams, even though he won. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I will say, though, I mean, it's funny. Rahm's at 300 and he's 10.9. You got all these guys that, you got Sam Burns at 500 and he's a full $1,000 cheaper.
Yep.
And it's an interesting pricing this week for sure.
Yep. There's there's some things to play with here for sure. I mean, this is a bizarro week, but it's
we'll talk about the betting odds and all the variability there too. Let's go to the 9,000. Sam Burns, as alluded to, 9,900. Tony Finau, one of the hottest golfers in going right now, is at 96. Didn't play that well last week because, of course, I was on him in 1-1 and done pool. JT's at 94, Sung J M at 91, and Cam Young at 9,000. Jeff, what jumps out to you here?
I like a lot of these guys. I mean, if you try to do the build with Rory or, take one off the 10s, maybe you can squeeze in two guys here and then pick your momentum guys in the 6s and 5s. I think Finau is just he had a bad round last weekend, but he's still one of the hottest golfers, maybe the hottest golfer here in the second half of the summer. That is tempting. And I like where he is too. I believe he's 4 under, right? I feel like that's right in your go zone.
He's 4, yeah.
Just let it rip. You're 6 back. You can kind of freewheel it. That's kind of the range I like. If someone's going to knock out Scheffler or Cantlay, I like a charge coming from right in that 4 under, 3 under zone. Finau to me, just kind of leaps off the page as maybe a guy is going to break through and go all the way and win this thing. So he's my first pick. I like Sung J M a lot too. He's just had a consistent year. He just always seems to make this event. I got to stop underrating him in our season-long league.
Yeah.
I always bail out of the bidding for him early and regret it later. I think he could make some noise too. I'm trying to see where he's starting now.
-4.
4, yeah, same spot. So, and Burns, I'd probably put those two over Burns. Burns 5 under, but I like both him and Finau the best off this tier. But you could talk almost anybody up off the 9,000s.
Well, this is gonna be pretty boring, I'm afraid.
Sung J M it is, huh?
I really like Finau this week. I think Jeff's point was the key. He didn't play bad. Like he had one bad round last week. He shot 77. I think he was like 68, 67, 68 over the weekend too. Yeah, 68, 67. Yeah, so all really good rounds last 2 rounds. He just played terribly on Thursday, and it happens. But you look at the last 24 rounds, he's top 3 in this field in tee to green, ball striking, shot, short game, and approach. Like it just not even top 5, not top 3 in the whole field. So he's just playing so well, just coming off one bad round. I really like him on a bounce back this week. And at -4, he has a chance to get there. I mean, it'll be tough to pass everybody, but at 9,600, he's just really, really well priced. I do like Sung J too. Did not play as well last week. He kind of putted well to kind of save himself a little bit. The interesting name in here is Justin Thomas. He's 9,400 and not playing really well right now. He lost off the tee, lost on approach, lost putting last week, but 9,400 is a crazy price for Justin Thomas. He's -3. He's not played well the last 4 or 5 events. He has not finished. He has one top 15. Other than that, hasn't been inside the top 35 last 4 of the last 5. So it's kind of a name. He can turn it on any point versus current form. So I'm leaning Finau and Sung J just like Jeff did.
Yeah, and it's funny to say this for a guy that's won a major, but it hasn't been a good year for Justin Thomas.
Yeah, it's just been very, very inconsistent.
Yeah, it has. 52nd last week. Missed the cut at the Scottish. There's some wild results. 3rd in the Canadian Open. There's that stretch. He wins the PGA, 5th in the Byron Nelson the week before, misses the cut at the Schwab, of course, and then 3rd place in the Canadian. He's just all over the place there.
He is.
Yeah, there's a lot more top 10s than I thought, to be honest, though. It's just been form.
When he's hit, it's been great. When he hasn't, but it's not the consistent like Xander that even when he doesn't win, he finishes 17th or something like that. It's been very up and down.
Right. All right. All of our podcasts are hosted on the Blue Wire Network. Here are their ads. Thank you for indulging us there. Let's talk a little bit about the $8,000 tier. Matt Fitzpatrick's at 88. Victor Hovland, 85. Joaquin Niemann, 83. Hideki is at 81. And Cory Connors, friend of the program, is at 8,000. Scott, who do you like here?
Easy for me. I really like 2 guys in this range. The first is Joaquin Niemann, 8,300. He's starting the tournament at -2. Just played really well last week at BMW. Gained 7.4 tee to green, was among the leaders there. 3.6 on approach. Didn't putt great. He lost a stroke and a half putting. But, 8th at the BMW, 13th at the St. Jude. Hit it really, really well back-to-back weeks. Love where his game is right now. I think he's going to make a run up the leaderboard. And then I also like a friend of the podcast, Cory Connors, again this week. Another guy who hit it really well last week. Gained 7.6 tee to green, 5.6 on approach. He's gained really well tee to green now 5 straight tournaments that have the shot tracker stats. He's gained on approach and really well in 4 of 5. 4 straight top 30s the last 4 weeks. Love where Connors' game is coming around, finally kind of really getting it going. So at 8,000, he started the tournament -1. Those are my 2 favorite guys, like starting near the bottom that might make a run up near the top.
Yeah, it's Neiman for me. Same. It's like the recent form, like the course fit, like where he's starting and that kind of like that predator zone of 3 under par. And a guy's got to win this year, and Ender's feeling great about himself. I would jump on him. I might have picked Hovland over Connors as a second pick, although Hovland's just a guy. The stats are so weird that he has such an obvious weakness around the greens that you almost feel like, oh, this isn't a course where you can miss the greens. Like, how many of those are there on the PGA?
Right. Yeah.
He makes the Tour Championship every year, and this wasn't even his best year, and he's still there. But I think if you're gonna just, I think a stars and scrubs lineup works this week. So I probably stay out of this tier, but I'll take Neiman if I'm picking anybody.
Let's move to the next tier then. Colin Morikawa down at 7,900. Spieth at 78. Homa 75. Stalling 74. Sepp Straka 72. Jeff Ritter. Who do you like in the 7,000s?
Yeah, still not much. I mean, this is like the Morikawa seems like a misprice, but it just hasn't been his year. But it's amazing that he's here. This is a bad Colin Morikawa year, right? And he's still, safely in the Tour Championship. So, but I don't like him at this price. I think, Spieth flashed a little bit last week. He's maybe tempting. Stallings was there, briefly. It's just. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He missed it by 1. I guess maybe Stallings would probably be my first choice. But again, I kind of go in scrubbier with my builds. But I think Stallings is my top guy off this tier if I had to pick somebody.
To no surprise, I do really like Morikawa this week. Similar to Finau, he had the one bad round last week. Like, he was on the leaderboard going into Sunday, had that 10 on a hole and shot 79, was out of it. But, he got 67 on Friday, a 65 on Saturday. Coming off the, 5th at the St. Jude. Like, he's playing really well right now. Finally, just had one bad day. 7,100 is absurd of a price. I will take him every day at that price. I know he's only started at -1, but he hit it pretty well. He played well the first 3 days. Just a really nice price. I think he's a guy that can make a lot of birdies, can get a lot of DraftKings points for you. So he's not going to win the tournament. He's not gaining 9 on Scheffler, or, if he does, not getting 7 on Cantlay and 5 on Xander. But I think he's a guy that could finish, maybe top 8 somewhere in there. That'd be a lot of good points for DraftKings. And then similar to Jeff, I like Scott Stallings a lot. Coming off the second last week at BMW, hit the ball really well too. Gained 6 on approach, 7.9 tee to green. You look at the last 24 rounds, he's in the top 10 in ball striking, tee to green, and approach. So just playing really solid golf right now. 7,100 is a really nice price. He actually starts at -3 too, so he's lower priced than most of the guys that are starting that high up.
Very cool.
I don't know. Morikawa, so he made a 10, right? On a hole
he did a 10
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is that linger? Is it just sort of, I just don't know if he's on tilt a little bit at this point of the year.
I think he was 2 strokes back, made a 10, had a 4 putt, and all of a sudden that round's gone. I mean, the 5th the week before, I don't know, 7,900 for a guy that's that good. I'm just going to take it. And if it burns me, it burns me.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on let's combine the 6 and 5s here just to kind of fill out this bracket because there's only a few names left. Billy Horschel's at 69. Thigala at 67. By the way, even though he hasn't won a tournament because he made it to East Lake, he gets to go to Kapalua in January. So good on him. He and Cam Young are both in that boat. Adam Scott 66. KH Lee 6,000. Brian Harmon 5,700. Aaron Wise 54. JT Poston 51. Tom Hoagie 5,000. Let's start with Scott this time.
So I like 2 guys down here, and they allow you to play a lot of guys up top. The first, and I have to imagine he's going to be very highly rostered, is Aaron Wise at 5,400. His 15th last week at the BMW, gained on tee to green, gained approach, hitting the ball well. That's 4 straight weeks he's been inside the top 35. Just playing really good golf. Just 5,400. Like, he's clearly I think the best player down here. I really like him at 5,400. He's starting at even, so he's not going to win the tournament, but a guy that can get a bunch of DraftKings points. He moves up. Mm-hmm. I also think Brian Harmon at 5,700. He's just someone that flashes. He either plays really well or not very well, but you want a guy like that this week. You want a guy to make a bunch of birdies. He has 3 top 10s last 6 events. I mean, that's really going up the leaderboard. Hit it really well at St. Jude. Gained 6.7 tee to green, 5.5 on approach there. He was 35th last week, but he lost almost 3 strokes putting. He still gained tee to green approach. So I don't take that too much into account there. So I think Harmon and Wise, be a lot of lineups I'm actually going to play both guys, and you can really ramp up at that point. When you get a lineup where you get Rory for me, Rom for you, Jeff, Rory and Xander, Rory and Cantlay, I like playing Harman and Wise to kind of make that work.
Good picks. Wise jumps off the page.
Yep.
It's just like, it's almost like we've talked about. Sometimes you start your build around a $7,000 or $8,000 guy. Here, I almost think you could start it around a 54. He's 54, right? 5,400, 5,400 guy, and free yourself up. Stars and scrubs. JT Poston is interesting too. You want to go even lower to 5,100. He's been on a pretty nice run and had a good year. He's made 4 or 5 cuts in a row. Racked up a few top 20s. I like those guys who are just aggressive with nothing to lose. Because again, some of these guys in the 20s are going to finish in the top 10. And so if you can find them, that's how you can, cash this week. And I think Poston has as good a chance as anybody. I love Aaron Wise. I think Poston's a good pick. And then 2 of your kind of aggressive player. I think Thigala also comes in playing with house money. Aggressive player who doesn't have a win, but he's shown he can make birdies quickly. And then I don't think we should overlook Billy Horschel. This is a honey track for Horschel. He's made a lot of money here before. He's won it. He's been one of those movers before, coming from the 20s to the top 10. I like him at that price too. So Horschel and Thigala off the 6s, Poston Wise off the 5s.
All right. Very good.
And obviously it goes without saying there's no cut this week. So all these guys at the bottom are going to get 4 days. So that's really important when you're playing the scrubs. Exactly.
Let's hustle on over to the SI Sportsbook and take a look at the odds there. Obviously different, you're going to have some pretty intense betting odds here. You're not going to get a pretty decent price on the top guys. Scotty Scheffler's plus 200 to win. Cantlay's at plus 350. I mean, normally, your best golfer, if you get anything, worse than 10 to 1, you're just not touching it. Here, if you want these guys, you really have to pay up. So with that in mind, Jeff, who's on your betting sheet?
Yeah, I mean, usually my one rule is you just take the guy who you think is going to win the tournament. But in this case, it's 3.5 to 1 on Patrick Cantlay, who I think is going to win the tournament. But I'll skip that. I'll drop down to Tony Finau at 20 to 1. I think he's got a great shot. Like I said earlier, I like where he sits on the leaderboard. Love the form this summer. 20 to 1, I can live with. Otherwise, I'll go Sungjae Im 25 to 1. I'm going to stop ignoring him in season long. And he's sitting right there in the Predators chair entering the week. I like where he is, and I like those odds. And then for a top 5, I'll take one of these momentum guys. You can talk me in Aaron Wise. I'll go with Thigala, 30 to 1 to finish top 5.
All right,
that's the card.
Yeah, Jeff kind of nailed it. I mean, these odds are really tough. I mean, I'm not betting Scheffler at 2 to 1. That's just not fun for me anyway. But I'm going to bet 2 guys to win the tournament. I was tempted by Xander, but a little bit low. I'm going to go Rory at 9 to 1. I know it's low. I know it's crazy. He's 6 shots back, but I think he's the guy that can get electric. I think he's going to win this week. 9 to 1 is not a great price for being starting 6 behind a really great player, obviously. But I'm going to go 9 to 1. And then I agree with Finau, 20 to 1. I think he's got a chance to get hot and win this too. And then I'm going to go a little spicier. There's some 2 balls that. Some 2 balls that are offered on SI Sportsbook this week. So I'm going to take Colin Morikawa plus 105 against Victor Hovland. I know Morikawa is starting a shot behind him, but I think I like how Morikawa is playing. I do not like how Hovland's playing. I did not like how he hit the ball last week at all. And I'm going to take Joaquin Niemann at plus 100 against Jordan Spieth every day of the week this weekend. I love that one as a 2-ball matchup for the weekend too.
I like it. And I like the options that you have here on the SI Sportsbook there, like the 2 balls, the groups. You got some fun ways to do this. Round leaders, not just top 5s. Just a lot of different ways to bet it there.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of different ways to get some action for the action junkies. I might actually, rumor has it, be in Vegas this weekend. So may have to do some things involved with that, but we'll see what happens. But anywho, all right. 1 and done. We still are going here. And it's right now, it's if you're competing, it's game theory. You're looking to see who you have left versus others have left. If you're like the 3 of us idiots, you just take the best available golfer, I think. But it just say good riddance to bad rubbish. But at least that's how I'm doing it. I'm just terrible this year. So my best available golfer for me this week, I think is who is it? It's so bad. Oh, it's either Hovland for me, I can go with, or I can go with Matt Fitzpatrick because I'm the dummy that didn't use him yet.
Well, make your pick. You got to make your pick.
I'm going Fitzpatrick. Fine.
Okay. All right. I still have Finau, so I'm saved. It's
nice.
The last top 20 guys in this thing for me. So it's a no-brainer. Finau just locked it in officially.
I'm second in the quarter, so we do pay for segments. So this one matters a little bit to me. So I'm going to go. I've used everyone in the top 10, but I'm going to go Joaquin Niemann. I really like his chance. That guy's playing right now. I'm gonna take him. Still have him available, and then I think I have Billy Horschel.
You have him available.
I know. I think I have Billy Horschel as my backup. I think he was available too, and then a bunch of the guys that were kind of down the list. But I'm going to go Niemann this week. I actually like his chances to play really well. And
in our league, we still use this tournament, but we divide the payouts by a factor of 10. So you win 18 million. No, you win 1.8. That seems fine. So it doesn't totally skew the results of the league. That's the way we were able to incorporate that in our league. A lot of leagues ended last week. So just a heads up on that. Guys, this is our last gaming golf of the season. What sort of parting thoughts do we have? Jeff?
It's been quite a season, hasn't it? I mean, we have
weird season.
We talk PGA Tour odds and betting every week, but obviously the live golf, tour has really swallowed the news cycle and gobbled up some of our favorite golfers and taken them off the board as we've gone along. It'll certainly be interesting to see how that progresses next year, but it has been another fun season. And hopefully, if people watched all year, they could have made some money off us, if people were paying attention. You gotta sift through it. But there were some pretty good tips in here. If I do say so myself, although I tip the hat to Scott, I think he's our leading prognosticator of the season. So congrats.
Yeah, it was a fun year. I think we hit like 4 winners, something like that we had on the betting cards. But more than anything, I just Miley knows I just love talking golf with you two guys every week. I know it's always hard scheduling wise, and we're all busy during the week. But every time I'm like, oh, we got to fit this in, and once we start doing it, it's a lot of fun. So I appreciate both you guys. You made the golf season a lot more fun by doing this with me.
Absolutely, fun times indeed. That's going to wrap up gaming golf. I thoroughly enjoy this. This is the fastest half hour every Wednesday for me here, every Tuesday even. It's so fast I didn't even get the day right. But guys, it's been so much fun. Good luck, everybody, at Eastlake and playing this fun event. And we'll circle back probably. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do President's Cup or not. We may not, but we'll definitely do it for Kapalua at the very latest is when we'll fire back up. We'll do this again sometime soon. Thanks for listening. Take care.